Good Mecha Monday, everyone. It is Ironcaster here, and I am here to talk to you today about all those big bots and little bots. So I will say hello to everyone out there. It is a nice rainy Monday, and I thought let's go live. We'll talk about some bots. How we doing it, folks? Of course, that would help if I had much people. Well, no matter. We can get into this a bit. And we will go, let's see, pull this up. Today was pretty good. We had okay, there we go. Suppose we'll get into today's first story. This was about a week or two old, and it seemed like a good place to start as any. Mattel's classic Rock'em Sock'em Robots game heads to the big screen with Universal and Vin Diesel. So the big action star will be attached to a upcoming Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie, which, let's see. The classic battling robot tabletop game Rock'em Sock'em Robots is heading to the screen as plans to develop a live-action motion picture starring Vin Diesel gets underway. The project is a combined effort of Mattel Films and Universal Pictures, who are working with Vin Diesel's own production company, One Race Films. Mattel Films will procure the project alongside Diesel and Samantha Vincent from One Race Films. The action adventure will follow a father and son who form an unlikely bond with an advanced war machine. So we're getting Chappie the movie, or we'll steal the movie. Fair enough. To take the classic Rock'em Sock'em's game with Mattel as my partner and align it with the kind of world-building, franchise-making success we've had with Universal is truly exciting, said Vin Diesel, which back in the 90s, there was there was another attempt to bring back Rock'em Sock'em Robots as its own attitude, tough game series, which had a video game and even had a series of toys to it, which were pretty neat for what they were. They had because they were by Mattel, they had a series of key wrench pieces, and you could swap out the body parts. There was a video game as well, Rock'em Sock'em Robots Arena, which I seem to recall, and hopefully I can bring up a couple of those. And they had all kinds of crazy designs to them. Oh, let's pull up some. A little bit of art for that. Which we had as toys. They were a modular robot toy whose arms you could take arms and legs you could take off, customize around, and build yourself all kinds of robots, which could be knocked apart for the Rock'em Sock'em Robots. I mean, for what we're seeing with this IP, there's really not a lot of material to it. But with it being such a big, wide net to work with, you can easily go and build something more to it. You can. Oh my god! I think one of the best things would be to go and take and add go with some of the crazy android designs from Alita from the racing game. Oh god, what was it? Oh, I cannot remember the name of the turbo sports ball game. And unfortunately, I cannot find much. Still, I mean, you could go with something crazy there for a Rock'em Sock'em Robots with guys in crazy cyborg bodies fighting. I mean, yeah, I think it would be a really cool idea to do. There's such a big, wide net of possibilities to what they could do if they want to go ahead and do a fighting tournament with the title and with Vin Diesel. Yeah, wait out here. Which the guy can put some passion to a project. The Last Witch Hunter, not the best, but he definitely put his effort into it. I thought. I kind of liked The Last Witch Hunter. It was a fun movie to go watch, and then play some D&D afterwards. Let's getting back to this. Mattel's my partner, in line with the kind of world building franchise success we had with Universal. It's truly exciting, said Vin Diesel. We are proud to bring this iconic piece of Mattel IP to life on the big screen with our tremendously talented partners, Vin Diesel, One Race Films, Universal, added Robbie Brenner, executive producer of Mattel Films, which I was unaware Mattel had a film production line, which, hey, that's something new. Our rich library of franchises continues compelling stories, and we look forward to creating what is sure to be a thrilling action adventure for the whole family to enjoy with Rockem Sock'em Robots. Launched in 1966, the Rockem Sock'em Robots game was inspired by an arcade boxing game which pitted the Red Rocker against the Blue Bomber in a fight to knock his rival's block off. A staple in pop culture since its debut, the brand's bright and bold gameplay has appeared in films, television shows, and commercials over the past 5 decades. Rockem Sock'em Robots is the second project between Mattel Films and Universal Pictures, which is also developing a movie based on the Wishbone television series. Other Mattel projects in development include movies based on American Girl, Barbie, Barney, Hot Wheels, The Magic 8 Ball, Major Matt Mason, Masters of the Universe, Thomas and Friends, Uno, and Viewmaster. Frankly, I'm not really surprised to hear that there's also a Viewmaster movie in the works, considering the nature of that toy. I could see it being some kind of crazy world trek. You view through the things and you're in a new world, or a VR, which, yeah, that could totally be a thing someone does with that. So, yeah, we'll have to keep updated for Rock'em Sock'em Robots. There's a potential here to this. Okay, we don't need this anymore. And we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves with some of those. So, yeah, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. You're getting a movie. Oh, shit, I did not see you there, buddy.
Hello.
Hey, Fenrir, how we doing?
Well, I've been waiting for you to beat me up for a couple of minutes now.
I am so sorry I didn't see you there. I was kind of getting into it, getting myself worked up. Those first stream jitters.
Yeah, no problem. Still think this movie can work if they just do it in a ring, kind of like the Real Steel movie they had a couple of years back with Hugh Jackman. Might work if they do it like that with a bit of the Alita vibes.
Yes, that was exactly what I was thinking. Because there were some really creative designs in Alita for what you could do with a movie like that. Which here's some some rough VFX stuff, but you can still see there's a lot of like craziness going on to what you had with the bots, with the cyborgs in Alita.
Yeah, it can work if they're smart. Emphasis on if they're smart.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to be more surprised about: the fact that the idea of them being smart with the brand, or the fact that Uno is getting a movie.
Oh, you gotta be freaking kidding me! Even Uno, it's a card game. I mean, if we were talking Yu-Gi-Oh, maybe, but Uno, seriously,
Yeah.
are they
Pull
really
that
out of
back up.
ideas this much?
Well, I mean, a lot of these are all just Mattel properties where they're just trying to go and scrape
Again,
anything they can
card
out of it.
game, card game. That's pretty much an offshot version of poker, from what I get. From what I guess, it's not really followed by a plot with characters and souls. Just
Uh,
card game.
let's see. We
I mean,
had on this
Autobot, the
list.
Transformers franchise made sense because the robots were sentient, wanting to war one another. But what are they gonna do? Are they gonna make the cards at war? Are we gonna have a Cardimus Prime, something like that?
I have no idea whatsoever here with this. Let's see.
So I feel like some kind of Toy Story deal.
We also had. Well, they could try to go the Toy Story route with how much they have.
Oh
And
God!
yeah, Brightest Days got it right. It's likely like Battleship, where they have to do something to not lose the license. Well, I mean, if these are Mattel toys,
All right, Battleship was a movie too.
if we're talking Mattel toys, I think Mattel owns the properties altogether. Because I remember hearing something about how the Masters of the Universe, the people who are, oh wait, no, it was there was a similar situation involving Masters of the Universe where I believe they sold the property they sold the property to Universal. But part of the deal with Universal was that they would get the first right of toy decisions. So in the case of Masters of the Universe, Mattel outright owns it, but it's just that Mattel gets the advantage of having the toy rights.
Huh.
Which I think I caught
Seriously.
that on Midnight's Edge. They were getting really into the Masters of the Universe stuff.
Yeah, something about Conan or He-Man ripping off each other. I think I remember that one.
Oh yes, we'll find out what is best in life one day. There.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, but don't worry. They'll also a lot of this stuff is they can easily aim at children. American Girl, Barbie, Barney,
Okay,
Hot
Barbie
Wheels.
I can see because they've made all kinds of crazy shit with her for years. Hot Wheels I can actually see too because there was this cool cartoon a couple years back called
Mm-hmm.
Hot Wheels Battle Force 5. It was amazing. And if they made a movie based on stuff like that, then I think it could actually succeed. The
Magic
Magic
8
8
Ball
Ball.
is throwing me off.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Wait,
Do you not know?
is that ball that gives you predictions of the future when you shake it?
Yes, that was it.
Then
That
again,
would be the Magic 8 Ball.
I have no idea what they're gonna do with this with a movie. You're gonna make the 8 balls actually really magic and gives a kid the ability to see the future or something? What the hell are
My
they gonna do
guess
with this?
my guess is that the Magic 8 Ball is going to be some sort of uh almost like a monkey's paw or something where like some kids find it and they look at it and they can see they can get results told to them from this Magic 8 Ball about what to happen, what to come.
Well, at least they're not doing anything with the GI Joes or Transformers because we've had enough crap from those two franchises for quite
Well,
some time.
you have to remember that this we're talking about Mattel here and not Hasbro.
Oh right, Mattel and Hasbro are different companies. Shit.
Yes.
Okay, I've been kind of bad in this mentality for years. Too many companies own too many things, and trying to make movies out of everything, it starts to get confusing. Too confusing.
So what Mattel does have that they could try to do something with is this character of Major Matt Nelson.
Who?
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this one either. It is a Mattel. It's a Mattel action figure of a spaceman, which I remember seeing this particular costume bit on the Venture Brothers, where they must have been
All
making a
right.
callback to it. When Billy
All right. The
Quizboy,
Gargantua.
yes,
Ah, yeah. The astronaut one was obviously for the Gargantua episode with the original Doctor Venture. This one is obviously the one from Billy Quizboys.
maybe you're right, Brightest Day. Maybe we'll be like that Rick and Morty episode.
Yeah, yeah. It was a crazy
And
episode. Pretty fun in some ways.
anything that's not Rick and Morty is fine by me.
Yeah, we've been having too much of that. I mean, even Star Trek is doing that chemistry, and it's just not. It's not even funny. Not even funny anymore.
We're also getting from some more Master of the Universe stuff, but we know about that with Kevin Smith crying over He-Man and Stinkor.
No, it's funny. I remember watching old episodes of He-Man and getting some huge gay vibes from it. Weirdly, they're not trying to do anything with that.
I mean, you got a big buff muscle guy. You run around with a page boy haircut and like a gimp harness. It's a lot of questions that are going to be brought up there.
Seriously, you have to question yourself. You literally fought a guy named Beast Man. A giant burly muscle dude who literally barely dressed.
And don't forget his ally Fisto.
Oh right, shit.
Remember that Fisto?
I mean, the only female characters we had were the Queen, Evelyn, the Sorceress, and what was the redhead's name again? I'm getting a blank.
Oh,
Tila?
Yeah,
Tila
Tila
or something?
Oh no.
Yeah. How have the crazies not picked this up and tried to do something with
it? I think that needs to go away.
Hey, man.
Oh shit. Oh. So, yeah, Kevin Smith can go have fun telling the tales of He-Man and Fisto.
He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't go that far.
Oh. So how are you doing, Fenrir?
I'm pretty good. I mean, it was pretty much a normal day. Not much to do. The world's pretty much just completely insane and too much tiring. I took a day off, okay? Just literally wanted to shut myself off for 24 hours. Plus, it was raining all day. Couldn't leave the house. So, I've been really just sleeping. I mean, it's just one of those days in life where you just wonder, why the hell am I even getting out of bed? I'm not going to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how you feel there sometimes. Where it's just like, well, yeah, I can just sleep all day.
Yeah. Yeah, go work. Still.
Just in case that, that one viewer isn't, and just in case Brightest Day hasn't subscribed to you there.
Thanks, dude. Thanks.
Hey, I'm trying to figure out the future here. Someone about 10 years are going to look back on this one day and say, that Iron Castro's an alright guy, but he never did link enough people. I'll never find that Fenrir.
Thinking too far, don't you think?
Hey, I'm just here to look at that guy from the future and say, hey, I took care of it. I linked him. You're welcome.
Okay, back to the lack of creativity and new movies on the way. What else do we have?
All right, we have a couple. We have a couple of Gundam stories and a little bit of Transformers stuff. Which would you prefer?
Well, not big into Gundam. I mean, I'm not very connected to the franchise, so I think we're just going with Transformers here.
Okay. Well, we have a couple of basically we have some toy updates for Transformers coming to you straight from Cybertron.com. And this year Transformers will be getting some new toys in the studio series based on the G1 character designs, and we are getting some more of the movie designs from the Bumblebee movie.
A Soundwave?
Yes, we are in fact getting a Soundwave.
It really saddens me we can't have him modernly in the movies now. I mean, what? Unless it's in the past, how are they going to make a boombox not be noticed by people around? I mean, who still uses those? I mean, he used to infiltrate labs and stuff. Even then, it was a bit suspicious. But now it's going to be like literally, how is this going to work? What is this doing here?
So we'll go over our list here. First and foremost, we'll be getting a series of them based on the Gen 1. Some of the Gen 1 bots that we saw in the Bumblebee movie from the Cybertron scenes.
I wish we had. Man, that means no Mirage.
So we'll be getting a Brawn based on the movie.
All right.
Which is always kind of a cool design to me. It kind of reminds me of like Man-at-Arms with the big coat kind of look design.
Yeah, with the helmet.
And it was always like a little short guy. It was always like really tough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, everyone in the whole He-Man universe was either short and muscly or big and muscly.
Well, that was because they only had one mold for bodies, and they just slapped a new head on them.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the whole. I actually found a couple years back the whole Mr. T He-Man action figure.
Oh yeah! Oh god! Yeah, there's so many of them that I'm pretty sure Mattel just only had like one mold, and they just put everything in that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I like the joke about Hasbro just recycling the same molds over and over again for all their seekers, for just slapping a new paint color onto a character and putting it out there. But my God, was Mattel just as bad?
Let's be honest. If it comes to cheap labor, these guys are going to use it in any way they can find it.
Oh, you want a little? It sounds like you swallowed your microphone there.
No, I'm just saying that when it comes to cheap labors and stuff, these guys are always going to go to the cheap route.
I can't argue with you. So, in addition to that, Ratchet. We're getting a movie, the Bumblebee movie design based on the everyone's favorite medic of the Autobots.
I don't know why I always kind of liked Pharma.
Who was that?
I'm just saying, I love Ratchet. He's a great doctor, but I always liked Dr. Pharma.
From He-Man? Or, I'm sorry, from G.I. Joe?
Transformers, the crazy, psychotic Autobot doctor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a character I've not seen in quite a while, so it was blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I used to have a shit ton of toys of him, then lost them as a kid. Then I just came back to him recently. I completely forgot about him.
We are also getting, speaking of mad scientist, Wheeljack.
Fine. Good. They haven't had some good.
I mean, remember the past Bay movies? What they did to Wheeljack? They turned him made him look like Albert Einstein for some reason.
Well, he was always kind of based on Einstein. He was the scientist who would be coming up with the crazy inventions.
But
And
still, their appearances are iconic. Give us their iconic appearance.
well, I really think that Hasbro's learning a bit of a lesson about some of these designs that you do not mess with these designs. Soundwave needs to look like a tape deck. You have to keep there are certain things you got to keep. And I wish I could say with the Netflix series that they kept his voice because look, I understand that you can't just keep the same voice actors forever. You got to eventually recast for a series as old as this. But you got to have some voice modulation to the character.
Yeah.
And I mean, how hard is it to set up a voice effect? I mean, I could probably whip something up. I got some voice mods here I could go with.
Bet you could. But seriously, everyone loves the G1 designs. They should really just do movies with those. I mean, there are old cars from the old days that are still being used today, so they wouldn't be completely off the air when it comes to the environment. So they could work.
Yeah,
Plus,
basically,
these are the Autobots in a world where literally two armies of robots are in constant war, beating each other. If it worked in that cartoon, I'm pretty sure no one's going to care in the modern time. And literally, the cartoon used to have some crazy things.
So there is.
I remember times where Optimus. I remember times where Optimus used to grab Megatron, turn him into a gun, and shoot him.
Oh, I remember that.
It was crazy.
So we have one more from this studio series of the Bumblebee movie. Oh, nice. And we are getting Soundwave.
Yes. Again, they have to make him into a boombox.
A boombox, or you got to have some sort of Cybertronian mode for the character. It's one of those things that just has to. It's got to be, and he's got to have Ravage or Laserbeak or some of the other cassette bots. The smaller bots, they have to be ejectable.
Exactly.
You got to have a little chest compartment pop up. It's
yeah, I mean, they can give us an Optimus Prime that can self-transform now. I'm pretty sure they can give us a couple of bots that can pop out of other bots and transform.
So we actually have seen some attempts at doing a movie Soundwave coming from Sideshow Collectibles. Would you like to see what they have to offer?
Sure.
I just so happen to have that ready.
Nice. Actually looks pretty. It kind of looks pretty good. I mean,
I like the little Ravage. It's got some hands.
Yeah, this could work.
I'm not too keen on the buttons.
Yeah, I really hate that a bit.
Okay, hey, you kind of turn it a little bit. Yeah, doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, this could work.
Got a little profile. Got that side shot. Oh, I love how deep it makes him look with the cannon there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Forgets. Soundwave is one of the most important bots and cons of the whole Transformers franchise. He needs respect. Hell, they should probably even give him his own movie too.
Oh, I'd be all down for it. He's got his gun. Oh, the chest plate even opens up on this. Mind you, this is Sideshow. They tend to be the more expensive figures, so I think this one's about $250.
Yeah, I mean, is there any image of Ravage actually being turned into a cassette and put into? Oh,
there we go. I would say that sells that.
Yeah, still doesn't look like a cassette though, but you can't win them all.
Well, if this is them on Cybertron, he doesn't have to necessarily look like a cassette. He just has to be able to squeeze down into there.
Still though.
Yeah, still, it's that's the higher end stuff that looks great.
Yeah, this is gonna sell perfectly if done right. A lot of old fans love the nostalgia.
Oh yeah. And finally, there were 3 other figures that I can mention from that they were announcing here.
Okay, let me guess. It's either RC, Bumblebee, or Optimus.
Oh no. And I've
Well,
kind of spoiled all that by showing that here, but we're talking about a Gen 1 Perceptor based on as they looked in 86. So we're looking at some sort of modernization of this design.
nice.
Which, hey, Perceptor's always a fun character. Everyone loves the nerd.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
So, I'm not gonna lie. We need a lot more con action figures. I mean, we got Soundwave. Do something more.
oh, there are two. There's 2 other little figures we could talk about. We're getting Junkyard, some of the Junkions. So we're getting those cool little motorcycle designs.
Nice. Wonder if they're ever going to use them in the show on Netflix.
And I've also heard that there is also going to be a Wreck-Gar, so I would not be surprised to see them reuse the mold and the designs to just also make Wreck-Gar.
I can see that. Again, cheap route. I'll take it.
And then finally, I think probably the best one of the lot, King Starscream.
Let's not forget this guy possessed the body of a little teenage girl. Let that flop in.
In the end, Starscream did indeed rules all of Cybertron for about 28 seconds.
About 28 seconds. Let's not forget.
Which is supposed to be a bit of a pricier figure, but he's also going to come with his cape. He's going to presumably come with his crown and his shoulder pads.
Nice. Does it come with an action figure of the bot that killed him so he can kill him over and over again?
Well, Galvatron is getting his own figure, so that will be something that you can go and reenact yourself over and over and over and over.
Nice.
I don't know. It's always fun to look at Transformers toys, so I thought it would be, it was a little something to kind of pad out a little time and talk about, because everyone loves Transformers. That's my theory, anyway.
They're one of the oldest, coolest franchises ever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have literally more continuities than I can even remember. I think it's about 5 or 6, right?
Oh, it's up there. But you know what? It has almost as many timelines and franchises to it.
What? Gundam?
Gundam.
Called it. I mean, okay, is this for real? He's vowing to crush Demon Slayer in Neo Genesis Evangelion. I don't know about Neo Genesis, but Demon Slayer is pretty big now.
Mobile Suit Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino vows to crush Demon Slayer and Neon Genesis Evangelion. Coming to you from Bounding into Comics. Mobile Suit Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino has taken the box office success of both Demon Slayer and Neon Genesis Evangelion, this latest theatrical releases, as a challenge, vowing in a recent interview to crush both respective series with his own works. Now, you said you're not all that familiar with Gundam?
No, I'm not. All I know is about giant robots and some kind of war.
Okay, so I think this would be one of those things we could have some fun introducing you to. So,
sure.
Gundam started, I guess we'll kind of go back to a little basics. Mobile Suit Gundam started back in 1979, kind of with Tomino and a few of the others of his era had basically grown up in a post-World War II Japan, where they experienced the horrors of war, the isolation, the war, the loss of a lot of father figures. It was it was war. It was rough, and a lot of that aspects of growing up in this post-war Japan there with so much changing around them, it influenced them. And so the original Mobile Suit Gundam is effectively a war story, but you replace the tanks with giant robots.
Yeah,
where you have where you have children in a battlefield being forced to pick a side and become soldiers, something that they never wanted, and it has persisted to this day as a highly successful series.
So I'm going to assume the level of people and expendable soldiers is very low for them to go into children then.
Oh, there were. All right. So the original series has, and you find this out within the first episode, within the first like 10 minutes. A war, this event that's called the 1 Year War has broken out in space with some of the space colonies are fighting the Earth government, and within months of this war, half of all humanity has been wiped out. Like billions of lives have been totally destroyed.
The fact that half of humanity have been destroyed would actually make them think to maybe stop before everything is destroyed, unless there's some kind of religious and crazy aspect related to all this.
I mean, it really just came down to one side just so overwhelmingly dominant that they were just out of their element. The forces of Zeon had developed a new weapon, these mobile suits, and the Federation is just struggling to get by to pull something together. And within about a matter of like 9 months, it's about 9 months into this 1 Year War, where you wind up seeing where the first episode takes place, where they wind up bringing about the Gundam. It's supposed to be an experimental suit. It's the first time that they've been able to go and really fight back.
Okay. I've never seen Mobile Suit Gundam, but here's a cartoon about giant robots fighting that I think you'll love. Look for a cartoon called Megas XLR when you're free.
Oh, yes. Chicks dig giant robots.
You've seen it.
Oh, yeah. It had Bruce Campbell voicing a little MODOK-like character. What's not to love?
Yeah. That show's awesome. Thank God no one has the rights for it.
Well, it's actually more so that Cartoon Network wrote it off as a loss. So the rights to Megas XLR are in a sort of limbo because it was deemed not profitable. That they can literally do like nothing with the series, as far as I know. So there basically won't be anything done with it. So there won't be any. There's not even DVDs or Blu-rays officially released, to my knowledge.
Again, thank God.
Yeah. It's kind of one of those like fortunate and unfortunate situations, but I mean, we'll take what we can get with it.
Yep. Just imagine if they brought the show back with the modern ideology they constantly enforce up our necks.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear the Flintstones coming back?
I did indeed hear this, and that series does not sound exciting. Where it's supposed to be like a millennial Pebbles, like, and are living with her father, basically teaching her father.
Yeah, and guess who's playing Pebbles?
Oh,
the star from Charlie's Angels.
Oh, yeah.
The shitty one. Yeah, this is not gonna go well. It's pretty much gonna be what we already see it's gonna be. Hell, I bet. I'm saying here. I bet $50. I bet you $50. Bang Bang's gonna come out gay or something.
Maybe. So, getting back to Gundam, some of the series are pretty notable for having a lot of very serious moments where, like, I guess like halfway through the original series, they were originally intended, like the original cast was actually intended to have just been outright killed off to show that war can take anyone. Ultimately, that's not what they did, but there's a lot of elements of these things where, like, there are, people you come to know and like, and they just outright get killed off, and just like this is war.
The heart. So pretty connected to reality if it comes to the concept of war. Then.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of really interesting justifications for some of the things. So because of these particles they use that allow the mobile suits to move like they do, it puts off a sort of radiation that blocks radio waves. So a lot of communication becomes based on sight. So you'll see them having to use lights and Morse code to send messages. So they can't just send out radio waves. I mean, there's a lot of good thought into it.
Okay, this remains completely into the field of science, right? There's no magical crap putting in any of this. They don't bring any kind of crap like magical demons, gods, and shit. Right?
It gets into the realm of some psychic bullshit. Where these people who've evolved in space get these
that's still sci-fi
power.
That's still in science fiction, so it's not completely far-fetched, so it might still work.
Right. No, it totally works, and the first series especially, you can totally watch and enjoy. It's got some of my favorite characters. In fact, I've got my shirt on for Sharzaku, the primary antagonist. So I've got my favorite pilot.
Okay.
Oh, let's get back to this article here. To say Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yabai no the movie Mugen Train was a cinematic smash would be an understatement, as the R-rated adaptation of the Demon Slayer manga arc of the same name not only performed well enough to earn the title of 2020's most successful animated film, but also surpassed Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away as the highest-grossing Japanese film of all time. Wow, this website, his Bounty Comics is so bad with the ads, but he's got to pay his bills, I guess. Though not quite to the same such extent, the latest and final cinematic release of Neon Genesis Evangelion's franchise rebuild series, Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0, Thrice Upon a Time, Shinin Evangelion Genkijoban has been a financial success in its own right. And I probably said that wrong. Earning about 7 billion yen, or $67 million as of April 12th. The film surpassed both franchise earning records in an amount previously set by the previous rebuild film, Evangelion 3.0, You Cannot Redo, and Japanese IMAX records, setting the country's record for the highest IMAX earnings on an opening day. Japan is bringing it for the cinemas. And they are not afraid. I mean, hell, I believe this weekend that Demon Slayer actually came and took number one over Mortal Kombat, did it not?
Oh, they did. It did. There's no question.
Nice. I mean, go Japan. They're kicking the West ass in terms of the entertainment.
Because again, the Japanese actually want to sell their shit. They don't want to put ideological bullcrap above story.
Yep. However, though the box office accomplishments of both films are more than impressive, they're not enough to intimidate Tomino. In an April 14th interview, the TV Asahi variety program, Isamu Hayashi's Ima Densho Koza, Tomino shared his thoughts on the recent films by declaring that he would crush each respective series with his own work. As long as I'm alive.
Japanese.
No, I'll take a crack at it. I can't see I'll do it very well, but hey, never heard.
No, I'm saying I love their way of competition. It's amazing. Oh, yeah. They literally declare full on war with each other. No problem.
Yeah, they view the corporate. They took to the art of war as like the business doctrine, and I cannot help but respect them for that. It's like, yeah, they view it all as a battle. If nothing is ever given, you have to take it.
Yeah, I wish someone slapped that to the modern entertainment industry today.
As long as I'm still alive and making anime, I have no problem saying I'm going to crush Demon Slayer or I'm going to crush Eva, said the veteran anime creator, according to translations provided by Japan-centric outlet Sora News 24. If you don't have that attitude, you cannot keep working in TV anime after you get into your 80s. I didn't realize he was in his 80s. Yeah, no, he is bringing it. He's ready to fight.
Oh yes, I can see. I can see through what he's writing. I mean, Jesus. I mean, he'd better come prepared because Demon Slayer got a lot of backing and fandom.
Yeah, I mean, Tomino's kind of the godfather of mecha, in a way.
Yeah, but the thing is, Mecha has the franchise of Mecha fights and has kind of been destroyed because lately the Mecha things that have been out aren't that great. I mean, have you seen Voltron? The recent Voltron show. I mean, it came out great with its two first seasons, but then it kind of went down a hill, and people are kind of getting sick of mecha shows because they're not being done right.
Well, I mean, with that, it's like it did start strong, and I think by about the second season or so, by about the second season or so, it really did not. It kind of lost its way, but which is unfortunate because I mean there are some good examples of ways you can really nail this stuff. I mean, you remember seeing the 2011 Thundercats?
Yes, an amazing show. I really
canceled way too soon.
Good things have to be canceled too soon.
Well, I suppose the paraphrase Joker, it's better to see it canceled sooner than to see it live on long enough to be wokeified.
Yeah, but still, would have loved. I mean, they could have at least waited till he got the third crystal and was ready to fight Mumra. Then actually give us a huge cliffhanger that would piss us off to the point which we'd probably start a rampage. Imagine that people just really started a rampage over a cartoon. How true it would have actually happened. Let's be honest. Some of us would actually do it if it was a cartoon we liked.
Yep, it is really unfortunate. I mean, so many good shows that have had great potentials, but for one reason or another, they always wind up getting cut off at the knees too soon, or some corporate interference gets in the way, or hey, maybe the head showrunner winds up getting run out, and the people who take over wind up having no idea what to do.
Yeah, I mean, look at Castlevania. Okay, you ever played any Castlevania games?
Oh yes, I've played my share.
Yeah, they had this show on Netflix. It's amazing. Season 4 is coming out. It's the final season, from what they say. The head writer has been passing through some kind of accusations, which obviously he's going to lose because, again, there's no evidence, but he's a dude and white, so yeah, he's pretty much screwed. So, yeah, this is the final Castlevania season, but it's not the end of Castlevania on itself, so who knows how this is going to happen.
Oh God, no! There's so much they can do with that series. I mean, you've got so many games. You can just keep doing the story of Alucard and go into the Symphony of the Night stuff. You can go into some of the side stories.
It's amazing.
Circle the Moon.
Yeah, but the show has this amazing way of doing its own thing, and even without not staying complete to the lore, it's still very great. I mean, I still would have rather they've given us Grant in the fight, in the huge Dracula fight in the castle. I mean, I would have loved to see Grant, but he didn't get Grant because head writer didn't like the pirate Grant. Although I do think that he did make him show up in a way. I mean, around season 2, there was this huge guy called the Captain. I mean, I don't think it is Grant, but let's be honest, there's been a lot of alterations. I feel in a certain spiritual way that is him. In some way, who knows? Never get exactly the name.
Let's see. I do have one last story to share, and this one is the bit of the doozy one.
Okay, bring it.
All right. The life-size Freedom Gundam is now open to the public in China.
China made its first giant Gundam, and people aren't scared.
Well, I think it's ironic that the name of this particular one, the Freedom Gundam, in China.
Still, people should kind of be freaked out. I mean, if this thing can move, just how far do you think it's going to take until they're actually making it fly and shoot missiles out of its ass?
Oh, there's a lot that.
It would be actually kind of amazing if you think about it. If Gundams were real. It'd be cool and terrifying at the same time. An awesome thought.
The life-size Freedom Gundam was recently unveiled and is now open to the public in Shanghai. The first size Gundam outside of Japan is now finally standing tall, and with each of these enormous statues, I'm amazed that they even exist. In this case, it's the ZGMF X10A Freedom Gundam from Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, which stands 18 meters tall. As a mid-season upgrade for Kira Yamato's suit or mobile suit in Gundam Seed. The only thing here does show us down is that it shows the Freedom Gundam for display in China.
Again, very funny.
You see the headline, you just have to
kind of laugh a bit.
Really? You guys went with that one, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, admittedly,
okay. Isn't there any form of oppressive regime-ish Gundam that seems kind of good they could have used?
Oh, there was a couple Chinese Gundams, like the Dragon Gundam.
And why the hell didn't they use those? They were little Chinese ones.
Oh, because this one just looks so cool. Let me pull up a decent image of it. Oh. All right, that's good enough. It's like with the wings spreading out, the black and blue on them. It's got a good mix of colors.
Yeah, that does look cool.
Plus, we pull up some box art for it. You can see it's like blasting lasers out of its little hip guns.
Okay. Yeah, this does look cool for the kind of super artillery kind of destructive way.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of gives the whole. Maybe they're using it to give the vibes of "Don't mess with us. We're gonna make. If you do, we'll make this real and shoot."
I think it's more so just a matter of trying to take the Freedom one for good old. Not sure if that played through for you. Did you hear my little sound bits?
Stopped around Freedom.
Yep, they you can't make this stuff up.
God, I sometimes wonder when will the simulation end and we can all go back to normal.
The ride never ends.
Whatever form of normal we had.
So yeah, do you have any more questions about Gundam? Because I can answer anything more you have for it.
Not really. Does it go into any freaking very cliche tropes?
I mean, frankly, Gundam creates some tropes, considering it's like the granddaddy of them all. That everything is tried to rip off, to the point where like Robotech originally started as a as a parody of Gundam. One of the popular tropes is the a masked rival
Who turns out to be related to the hero in some way.
Maybe sometimes, but it's usually just, hey, they're that works. They're usually some sort of some sort of nemesis or rival where with the helmet or mask covering their face.
Okay. Quick question: is all the fighting always on the Gundams, or sometimes they do some kind of adventures off without the goddamn Gundam?
I mean, it isn't. They aren't. You don't always see them in the suits, so sometimes they'll be fighting outside of them, but for the most part, you're here to watch some big robots punch each other.
Nice. Hope there's sword fights. I like those when it comes to giant robots.
Oh yeah, like there are ones covered in swords.
Yeah, there.
Let's go with this one. Oh, come on. Of course it doesn't work. Like there's been some crazy CGI over the years.
Okay.
Where like they're basically walking around with like a almost nuclear reactor in their chest.
Hey, so they have nukes in their chests.
Just about where if you destroy one the wrong way, it's gonna wind up like killing a lot of people.
I mean, so these fights are in space, right? Not in an actual planet that could actually destroy the environment.
Sometimes they're on Earth. Sometimes they're in one of these space, one of these colonies that also sometimes get dropped.
Okay, then. So, let's just wait and see then, obviously. Let's just wait and see. I just found a weird death battle video about Optimus Prime versus a Gundam.
Yes, this was a thing. Let's pull this away. Yep. That's been one of those fun fights to see. The Optimus versus the Gundam, which that's not the one I would have gone with. And frankly, one of the really fun things about Gundam is it's kind of hard to define what is a Gundam series because there's been so many different things. It's not always, I mean, for example, it's not always a super serious like war because G Gundam was.
Just found a spin-off about where Gundam is a toy game.
Yes, Build Fighters. That was what I was going to mention. Where it's a universe where the Gundam series exists as like animes within them, and so you have people who are just really big fans of the model kits, which is a huge, revenue stream for Sunrise. That the model kits can pull in like hundreds of millions of yen in a single year. So it's no wonder why they keep going with the toys. And then so you have a series where this is a universe where those toys are or the model kits are something in the universe where you can build these model kits, and then in this little arena you can fight with them almost like Pokemon. So you can kind of pilot in a little computer setup, and so you have people like spending all this time and effort to go and make their kit look really nice. I mean, you've seen the work Brightest Day does with his. So it's like, imagine him putting all that effort into building his model kit, building the ball or the Gundam, and he'll wind up making a much better suit by putting all this effort into it. So in this little arena, when you're piloting, we can have the little sword fights and shooting guns, and it's all kinds of crazy fun. And then you can also have G Gundam, which was a martial arts tournament where you have the people in like a little arena and like a little ball arena thing inside the cockpit of it, where it mirrors your movements. So when you punch, your mobile suit's going to punch as well. And this is so totally different from the likes of, say, the very serious war efforts of the original series, the Universal Century Timeline.
So they can go with any of these directions if they want.
Oh yes, and so the largest thing I hope, since we're getting a Gundam live action series, is that they do not touch the Universal Century Timeline. Do not give me an adaptation of the original series. Like, look, there's some cool stuff in there. There are some iconic scenes. The colony drop I just showed, re-entering the Earth atmosphere while the white base has Char on his tail, and to go and re-enter the atmosphere, they're totally vulnerable. So it's just like dire moment of we have a limited window in which we can have the suits out to be able to fight, because otherwise we're going to be left totally helpless. And if they stay back and shoot at us, we're dead. Every single person on this ship, these children, dead. Amuro is the main antagonist of the original series, and he doesn't want to have to fight, but given the circumstances, he's the only one who's able to pilot that thing. He's gonna be this 17-year-old kid is gonna have to be the one who has to go out and pilot the suit. You have a teenager being forced into warfare, into a war he wanted no part with. It is a great series, but no, I do not want to see this adapted. To get back to my main point, because it's been done before, and frankly, there's a desire to make Zeon into not the mid-century Germans, we'll call them, because they kind of started as it kind of works like parallels to them that you can see when you see the imagery.
Yeah, let's be honest, the crazies on Netflix would most likely want to do that.
And that's what I don't want to see.
Yeah. You should hope that, dude. I mean, they're already altering the actual voices and dubs of anime shows and Japanese creations, so yeah, you better hope they go with the one you would perfectly with. Because these guys have no respect for anything.
Get in the Gundam. So yes, to I guess get back to a point, I highly recommend watching Mobile Suit Gundam. I mean, yes, it has some. There's some rough, dated '70s animation, but it is a good story.
Yeah, I'd rather shitty animation and good story than good animation and shitty story.
And some of the stuff is legendarily hilarious. I guess I should pull up the OG Gundam, because the RX-78 deserves to have the center of attention for a bit. It's my boy, the RX-78. I mean, hey, personally, I'm a Zeon guy, but you gotta give respect to the original, and which at this point is like picking factions. So yeah, hopefully I've managed to talk you into checking out Gundam, and hey, we can even turn this into a segment for you.
Okay, good question. In matters of power, how destructive are we talking about a Gundam can be? Because again, anime is insane when it comes to power levels. So how destructive are we talking here?
Oh, well, considering it has a big old beam rifle cannon.
Okay, so most likely Death Star destructive then?
Oh, no, nothing on that level. I mean, it's got a big old laser sword that you could just cut into a building.
Okay. Okay then. So, okay, at least there's any idea what kind of Gundam they're going to use in this show that I'm going to make.
So this is we don't actually know anything about the upcoming movie, what to expect for it. There has been some speculations by some people that I saw in articles suggesting they were going to do a adaptation of the original series, but I've seen nothing to actually confirm that. And I would feel a lot more comfortable actually knowing just, hey, what are we actually in store for? Are we actually going to get a proper original story? Because one of the beauties of Gundam is that you can just easily do its own original thing. You don't have to do something totally different, or you don't have to do something like just like the rest. I mean, God, there's one of my favorite series, like I was mentioning, was G Gundam, which was a martial arts tournament where every nation has a Gundam. So, like the French
Mortal Kombat with giant robots.
Yes.
You know, I'm kind of curious to see how does the French Gundam look, because I'm seeing him kind of fighting with a huge baguette sword. Tell me that I'm just crazy and that did not happen.
I need to make this a thing now.
You just said they had huge stereotypes. I'm pretty sure French fighting with baguettes is a stereotype.
Oh no, we get the Rose Gundam. So think Napoleon.
Okay then. So what? The Chinese one was Bruce Lee?
The China had the Dragon Gundam. So you see some kind of like elements where they kind of brought in like the old Chinese warriors of old.
Yeah, dragons and stuff. They are very big on dragons in their culture.
Hey, go ahead, Brightest. I look forward to seeing it.
Me too, dude. Peace.
Russia's Gundam was straight up a prisoner.
Russia's I can see is I can see a giant robot with a bottle of borscht.
It was it's got the
bottle.
It's got the like Cossack hat. The thing on its shoulder is supposed to be like the ball from a ball and chain.
Yeah. So would think it would have been best if they used an actual bottle of borscht as a weapon. And that thing is explosive. I mean,
the best one by far, though. The best one by far was Mexico. The Tequila Gundam.
You're telling me Mexico actually? Freaking Mexico, dude! Seriously? The Tequila Gundam.
Oh, so all these countries had a colony in space, and Mexico's little space colony was just a straight up sombrero.
You're shitting me.
I am dead serious.
freaking sombrero. God, the crazy Twitter would have a full day with this one.
Oh, they kept going. Kenya had one called like the Zulu Gundam.
The Zulu. Yeah, it's not bad.
I like some of the horse elements in it, and it's like it. I can see like little zebra bits and.
I mean, was it killed off instantly, or did it make it for some time?
Oh, it made it to like the finals, I think. But it basically only appeared for like an episode.
Alrighty then.
And then I think probably one of the stars was America's. Which was like a over-the-top sports star.
Over-the-top sports star. Okay,
Like,
show me
it was-
America.
All right. So
It kind of reminds me of a version of Optimus Prime. Is that
he's
crazy?
like, it's got a football helmet. He rides a skateboard, and the shoulders come off to become boxing gloves.
Okay, the boxing glove part I can actually see. It'd actually be a cool way to fight, but skateboard.
Oh yeah, he's just like straight up like,
No, this is creativity at its finest.
there's so much to love about this. We're just like, okay, yeah, they're just like, whatever. Let's just go with it all. People can look at this and say, yeah, that's America. They're over the top. They have all the sports. When everyone, they have all the movie stars. The big athletes, etc. It's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. God, if this was made today, it would be a whole lot. You'd be speaking about it in a whole other way, wouldn't you?
Oh yes, like there's no way in hell it will be made today. So I'm surprised to see
I mean, a freaking sombrero colony.
Yep.
You have to think they wouldn't do that. Freaking sombrero.
Holland had Gundams as well.
Seriously, Holland?
Yes. Like I said, like every country has their own Gundams. Just straight up windmills.
Again, isn't pretty much just windmills everything people kind of know about Holland?
Yeah, exactly. I think Norway had a Viking. Canada had a lumberjack.
I thought Canada would probably be a hockey player.
You would think that, but I think they didn't want to make it too similar to America with all the sports. so I figured it would be that or just a bear.
Bear would be Russia.
Or a moose.
Because in communist Russia, bear eats you.
We don't talk about the bears. Yeah, bear eats you. Wait, in Soviet Russia, you eat bear because there is no food. In Russia, jokes are like food. Not everyone gets them.
They're Russian. Where would we all be without the Russians?
Oh, I mean, Cold War wouldn't be an issue. We probably wouldn't deal with the Marx stuff. Yeah. Anyway. On that happy note, I think we should maybe start wrapping up. What do you think?
Alrighty, I think we should probably do that. We've been in this for about 1 hour and 13 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you want to make it to 20, I'm always open, but I think we should probably stop here.
Yeah, let's stop while we're ahead. We've only made fun of like half the world at this point.
I go on. There would still be a lot of other countries we could make fun of. A lot of countries would probably get pissed off.
So would you want to come back again next week to talk about some Mega Man?
Oh, sure.
All right. Or
the Mega Man franchise is one I do know.
Okay.
Ultraman, I'm recently into it. Only thing I know is the most recent one.
All right. Well, let's definitely hold on to Mega Man. I don't know, maybe the first 2 games.
All right.
I think I'm gonna hop off. I'm gonna get started on that. I gotta go beat up Bomb Man.
Go do that.
Yep. All right, folks. Well, let's get rid of our silly windmills. We're not Don Quixote. So to tune out, I'm Iron Castle. I like to talk about big robots. And this is Fenrir. He's not a sombrero. He's trying to get himself to 100 subscribers, and I'm trying to help give him that extra little push. And I'll be back here next week to talk about some more robots. I don't know, maybe we'll talk about Mega Man. Maybe we'll talk about Astro Boy or Iron Man or something with pseudo armor. We could talk about Ironheart next week. What do you say?
No woke crap, dude. Come on.
We're here
Do you
to talk
even know
about
anything about the character?
stuff.
Do you even know anything about the character?
I know she didn't sell well. I remember her taking over Latveria for like 2 issues.
Yeah. And somehow Dr. Doom didn't kill her.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So on the plus side, Mega Man next week, all right? So
all right, then.
Until next time, take care all you big bots and mini cons. Peace.
I have nothing else to say. Let's just cut it here because this is starting to look very embarrassing.
I hit the wrong button. Kill it.